Welcome to shoemaking lesson number 4. Today we're going to turn this into this. Let's get started. Now to create our pattern pieces you'll need the last that we've drawn on. Ruler, pencil, knife, scratch awl, and I'm going to use a pricking wheel like this and some stiff card. Something like a cereal box will do excellently. So, we'll clear our workspace. Now that line that we drew right at the start, that's our cutting line. So take your knife and slice along there. Now start peeling. So we'll start at the bottom and you want to peel it off without tearing anything. Oh, I didn't cut that properly. See, I've torn it just there. You don't want to do that. So here is the masking tape we've peeled off. Now you'll note that it's not sitting flat. So what we'll have to do, we'll have to do a few cutouts here and a few over here to get it to lay flat. So get your card and starting at the top of the shoe, right. Now I'm only going to cut about 20 mil in. All right, let's get smoothing. So here's the flattened pattern. It didn't flatten out very well. You can see there's plenty of crinkles here and there. This could be alleviated by using less masking tape because the less thick it is, the more you can stretch it. But this will do. It won't have too much of a negative effect on the end result. So first thing we need to add is a lasting allowance. So that is material that will go down here that allows it to be wrapped around. So currently the pattern's only going right to this edge and we need it to come to about here. So we will add about 20 millimeters all the way around like so. And then fill that in. You'll notice that the toe curves down here. We need a straight line here for when we make our pattern piece. So I'm just going to draw in line with this, straight out to here. Excellent. All right, now continue these lines down. So you want to go straight down with this if possible. Excellent. So you might notice that on the front of the shoe here, by cutting these, we've actually expanded it and then expanded a bit more by doing this. On the back end, we've done the same, except we're actually going to pull that back in. So if you can measure how much you've spread it out, so let's say that's 1 mil, 2 mil, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to bring that back end in by 6 mil. Bring that down. Now the reason for that, so on the front of the shoe, the material starts out flat like that and you have to pull it around. You can't get rid of any of that material because the leather starts out flat. On this back end, if you did the same thing and had it spread out just as far, when you brought it in, you'll have so much excess leather that'll be laying on top of each other like that. And so on this back strap piece, we can actually remove some of that before we last it by shrinking that strap down so that it's already starting to pull itself in slightly and it doesn't have all this excess material. It won't save a lot of material, but it makes a big difference. The reason why you're concerned about it here, but not up here, is that on the toe you've got a lot more space to get rid of that excess, whereas on the heel it's much tighter because it's a narrower space. So now we're going to cut out our standard. So grab your knife, and remember this isn't the top of the shoe, but this line is. So I'm going to cut it all the way and then out here. So rather than following this line, I cut out here because this part is the tongue of the shoe, and so you shouldn't cut it off. Then just follow this line. Now the bottom, and up the back. Right. So what you've just created there is called a standard. So from a standard, you can create your pattern pieces. Now the benefit of doing it this way rather than going straight from the last to the pattern pieces is if you need to make any adjustments here, you just make them on the standard. So you'll see on this one, I have drawn in 2 lines. So that was the original line, and I found that it was too tight around my foot. I couldn't get it in easily because of that opening up point was too far up. So this point was the new one, which was much more comfortable. And so rather than redoing the whole process of taping the last and drawing it on, I just adjusted this, picked a new opening point, and adjusted these lines to suit. And then from there, I created that. So creating a standard makes adjustments much easier.